A rookie breaks through in New York for his first PGA Tour victory.
Welcome to PGA Tour Today, brought to you by Bearing Point Management and Technology Consultants.
Dustin Johnson is the $1 million winner at the Turning Stone Resort Championship. Starting the day 2 off the lead, the 24-year-old out of Columbia, South Carolina, becomes a first-time champion on the PGA Tour, winning by 1 stroke over Robert Allenby. Welcome to PGA Tour Today. I'm Lynn McMurray. While just last September, Dustin Johnson was playing as an amateur on the 2007 Walker Cup team, he's now a card-carrying PGA Tour winner. Johnson began the tournament on the bubble at 128 on the money list without a guarantee to be back on tour in January. But with his victory, he earns a 2-year exemption and his first trip to the Mercedes-Benz Championship in Hawaii. Johnson was tied with his playing partner Robert Allenby Sunday when the two reached the par 5 18th, but with an 8-foot birdie after the Aussie veteran missed his 12-footer, Johnson secured his first PGA Tour title. However, he did have to wait more than half an hour for it to become official, as he started the day 3 groups ahead of the final pairing. Let's go to Bob Stevens from the PGA Tour Network for some more on Championship Sunday.
When there were a couple of very interesting stories going on inside the ropes today. One was, of course, Dustin Johnson's win. He'd kind of laid in the weeds throughout the week, but his big bombing game really was able to take advantage of a very wet, soft course to take an even bigger advantage over the shorter hitters on tour. Dustin's a big stick, and not being the leader until the last couple of holes was probably the best way for him to sneak through and win his first tour event. The other story, though, was the fact that nobody went wild and crazy on Sunday. Joey Sindelar had told me after he finished his round very early in the day, he thought there might be a 63 out on the golf course. It never really came to pass. A lot of guys got close, a lot of guys played fairly well, but nobody really put up the low number that could have stolen this championship. A lot of guys moved up on the money list, although only a couple moved inside the top 25. Big moves by Davis Love III and by Steve Allen. This is back-to-back top 5 finishes in the fall finish for Steve Allen. He's got a chance to get into the 125 next week at the Valero Texas Open. Action you can hear on XM 146 and Sirius 209, and you can see on PGAtour.com.
Thanks, Bob. The 6'4" player who can dunk a basketball barefoot led the field in driving distance, bettering Robert Garrigus this week, who ranked 2nd on the PGA Tour in the stat. But that wasn't the only thing working for Johnson. He was 2nd in the field in putts per GIR and tied for 4th in putts per round. And Johnson recorded the 2nd most birdies, making a total of 18 for the week. Don't count on this being the last tournament Johnson plays in 2008. The win moved him to 41st on the PGA Tour money list, and if he can continue his good play, he could move inside the top 30 and guarantee himself an invitation to the Masters. Johnson earned his PGA Tour card for 2008 last year at Q-School, and before 2008 he'd only made 1 start on the PGA Tour at the 2007 Valero Texas Open. And that's the next event on the schedule. Coverage of the 3rd tournament of the Fall Series begins Thursday from San Antonio.
PGA Tour Today is brought to you by Bearing Point Management and Technology Consultants, delivering new thinking for a changing world.